The Government of India's Arogya Setu app has crossed more than 15 million downloads, and it is possibly one of India's most downloaded apps. Let's take a look at the top 5 things that you need to know about this app. The app was developed by the Ministry of Health with the involvement of the Niti Aayog, and it is maintained by the National Informatics Center. The app description states that it helps you self-assess for COVID-19, it alerts you when you have come in contact with someone who has tested positive, and the government states that it wants to use the app as an e-pass to go out during the lockdown. Arogya Setu is a contact tracing app. It uses your phone's Bluetooth and GPS to tell you if you have come in contact with someone who has tested positive for COVID-19 or is suspect of doing so. Let's take a look at how to download the Arogya Setu app. First, you need to ensure that your phone is connected to the internet. Then you need to visit Android's Play Store or the iOS App Store and download the app. Later, you need to give this app all the permissions it needs, such as access to your Bluetooth and to your GPS. Then, you need to verify your mobile number through a one-time password that the app will ask you for. Once you've done all of this, it will ask you to take a self-assessment test and ask you about your international travel history. Once all of this is complete, the app will run in the background and it will interact with all other phones that you come in contact with that have the Arogya Setu app installed. Let's hear from someone who actually had a role in the making of the Arogya Setu app in conversation with WOM's Govindraj Etiraj.
It says that this data can only be used by the necessary health authorities and authorities delegated by them, potentially surveillance officers and so on, only for battling COVID-19, not even other infectious diseases, right? And there is no etc. for other purposes business, right? Because we did not want this to become a runaway train. Mm-hmm. And the other 3 constraints are if you are never shown to be at risk, either through your self-assessment or through coming in close contact, we throw the data away on a running basis in 30 days. Even on your phone, it's wiped out within 30 days. If you are determined to be at risk, that window is expanded to 45 days. If you are, virologically proved to be infected, where the virology test says that you are infected, after you are cured, we keep the data for 60 days for post-analysis because the analysis of the data is very useful. And then all the non-anonymized person data is thrown away.
The government claims that your data and privacy will be protected, but there are some who have raised questions.
Currently, it's not just about the data stored on your phone. It is the data that is stored centrally at the government's end, whether that's the Niti Aayog or some other agency. That's a good question to also ask.
I think the National Informatics Center, yeah.
Yeah, and who's keeping that? Who has access to that? NIC might be hosting it later. Right now, it's hosted on AWS, Amazon Web Services, and they're saying about porting it to NIC later. But who is actually in control of that? What is being kept there? And right now, for example, there's no clarity on what data is kept after the pandemic finishes. That sort of urgent step is being taken where basically a majority of our population is being asked to install this. We need to be very cautious about what's being there. Could it leak data in other ways? Could it be subject to malware? What happens to the data afterwards? But more importantly, even today, there's been talk that it will let you know about your possibility of being, say, infected. Is that a human-based intervention coming from the ICMR and state health agencies? Is that an algorithm right now coded between the Niti Aayog, NIC and volunteers? So these are important questions there.